Hello Hogwartians and welcome back to another Hogwarts Legacy video. In this video I will tell you all of the best tips and tricks that I wished I knew sooner when I started this game. Hopefully you will enjoy. If you do, remember to smash the like, hit the subscribe button and of course leave a comment if you feel like I left something out. The biggest tip I can give you is this one. Focus on the main story, because if you don't, your options with exploring the world will be limited. Also you can complete some of the side missions and side activities, because some spells areas are locked behind of the main storyline. So focus on the main story first and companion missions. After that do everything else. Personally I did everything opposite I just said, so I tried to do everything at once. Let's just say it didn't go that well, so definitely hear me out on this one and do what I say, don't do what I do. Because there is so many things that you can do without progressing through the story. Next on the list we are having some things that game doesn't tell you and are not shown on the map until you are closer. For example, platforms, mazes and butterflies. Let's start with the mazes. There are 5 different mazes around the map. I'm not gonna show the locations in this video, and these are pretty easy to start. Just find the location, go through the gate, solve the maze. It is usually 1-2 minutes max and you will find a legendary chest. In end of the maze also there is a note that you can collect or read or both. After doing so, 5 mazes around the world that are always giving you the legendary chest. So if you come across one of these or spot one of these, do them immediately, just because if you are going different areas, starting quests, etc., these things will disappear from your map and you have to find them all over again. So do all of these as you stumble upon them. And for example, these platforms that are next on our list, they are not even shown on the map by any icons, so definitely do these. If you spot one, there is actually a pretty easy way to tell if you have done the platform already. Undone platforms are just plain and simple. As you can see in the video, there will be torches or fires around it, all lit up, so that is the indicator that you have visited that platform and activated it. Quick tip for the platforms, usually they are around or nearby of these balloons that are not also shown on the map. They are pretty much more or less linked together. And what comes to the balloons, there are always 5. I highly recommend of popping all of them. If you leave one and decide to come back later, that is not a good idea, because 5 balloons it is much easier to spot than just one. And believe me, some are quote unquote hidden or lower, so just flying over it is easily missable. If you leave even one balloon behind, definitely make it much easier and simpler for you and pop all 5 of them. It only takes few seconds. Mazes, platforms, balloons. We have only one more thing. For these secret things in Hogwarts Legacy, and it is gonna be butterfly hunting. Well, not hunting, butterfly following, more like it. So you can follow them by the foot or even with the broom, doesn't matter, because you can actually collect things on your broom, and you will need all of these in order to get 100% completion on the game. Meaning of course the Hogwarts Legacy isn't bugged. For example, I'm still stuck on 139 conjurations out of 140. Last update didn't do much for that one. Also one field guide in Hogwarts Castle is still bugged, so be aware of that one, at least at the time of this upload. If you're watching this later, most likely it has been resolved already, so let me know in the comments down below. Are you having any issues with the game, with the trophies, achievements? But here is one more butterfly location and reward before we are moving to other tips in this video.
Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark.
As promised, we are moving on to another tips. One of the biggest things that is getting really old, really boring, really grindy, really quickly, it is gonna be the Alohomora quote-unquote minigame. Yet still, I'm highly recommending of collecting all of the demiguys that you can in order to upgrade the Alohomora spell. There are 3 levels for this one, level 1, 2 and 3.
Mine now, demiguys.
But the lock mechanism doesn't change in difficulty, on appearance or anything. It is always the same. Solutions might be a little bit different, sometimes they are even the same, so yeah, this is getting really boring, so to avoid this and also save a lot of time, what we need to do, we need to go into settings, to the difficulty, from easy, normal or hard, let's change it to story, and let's see what happens.
Alohomora.
Boom! Auto solve. So definitely a game changer for this one, and I promise you, you will save hours by not completing the Alohomora minigame in traditional way or the other way. Let's make it easy. And also, the story mode is making a huge difference when you are collecting beasts. Just like in here, even the crab horn didn't require pressing buttons more than once. So having the game on story difficulty eliminates the Alohomora spell and also the catching thing. But if you want to catch magical beasts in traditional way, use Levioso or Arresto Momentum on the beasts. That way you are making it easier, but on the story difficulty, the easy becomes even easier. Next tip will be life changer and also time saving, if nothing else. It is gonna be the Arithmancy door puzzles, and we can find this cheat sheet from this tower in Hogwarts Castle, and all of these doors are located also in the Hogwarts Castle in Hogwarts Legacy. At least I didn't find even one outside of the castle. This requires you to have simple math skills, so basically 1 plus 1 is 3. Just kidding, but you can find this in your inventory. It is actually named as it is Arithmancy study guide. Easy enough, don't you think? And yeah, this is pretty simple. We are seeing the arch on the doors. There will be symbols around that arch. And on the page we are seeing symbols, same as in the arch. Also there's a logical point to these symbols. For example, there is a Hydra, that is number 9, so 9 heads equals 9, spider 8 legs, it is 8. Also the doors are showing you 1 question mark or 2 question marks. Those are indicating which thing you need to roll in order to get the symbols. Look on the numbers and look the one big number on the center, that is the outcome you want. So unicorn 1, the thing below that, it is gonna be 0, all the way up to 9. So simple math. After you have solved this, you can move on to collecting everything the rooms have to offer. If you don't have enough space, just destroy stuff or be smart and sell some stuff and come back. This was actually pretty fun side activity, and also this one is needed for 100% completion because there are collectibles inside of these doors. Alright, this crusading part of the gameplay is over and it is time to move to the next tip. It is gonna be the vaults that are located all over the maps. And note, there is no collectibles, but there will be galleons, aka gold, money, and also chests that are dropping gear pieces inside of them, and there are multiple different puzzles that you need to solve before you can collect the treasure. There are also few that doesn't require any puzzle solving whatsoever, just find the location and boom, done, completed. Extra tip, there will be vendors all over in the towns, on the roads, that are selling many different things like materials, brooms, even gear. So definitely restock every once in a while. Also sell your old gear. If you are on PlayStation, at some point you will unlock your own shop in Hogsmeade. Before we are diving into that one, make a save file before these golden legendary chests. Once you open one and your gear slots are full, you cannot open it again. I'm not sure if that is a feature, bug, or whatever, but definitely make a save file before you are opening one, or make sure you have at least one slot left in your gear. As shown, the legendary chest did drop an item that had question marks. For that, you actually need to go to the room of requirement and from there identify the gear in order to see it, see the stats, see the level, and what piece it is. More about the room of requirement a little bit later on in this video. Before that, I'm gonna show you couple helpful things in Hogsmeade, so stay tuned. First thing in here will be the wizard wares, where you can buy gear, even the legendary ones, that actually may be much better than the ones you are collecting from the world, from the chests, from the enemies. They are costing a little bit more than they are selling for, but definitely visit the shop every once in a while, because you never know what you are gonna get. If you just want the appearances of the gear, buy everything and after that sell everything. And if you are on PlayStation, PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, you will have an exclusive shop, your own in the Hogsmeade, where you can sell your unwanted gear, unneeded gear for 10% more, and that is adding up quickly. So for example, green pieces of gear are selling for 60, but in your own shop it is 66, blue gear usually 90, in your own shop 99, and legendary gear 200, and in your shop 220. So definitely use that one when you can. At least in the new generation consoles, the loading times are not the problem, so let me know when you are getting the chance to play this on the old gen. What are the loading times? I am really keen to hear about those, because there are some games that have insanely long loading screens, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla for old generation consoles. Before taking a deep dive into the room of requirement, let's take a look of some talents of the game. And by the way, when you are completing any challenge, quest, exploring, battle, whatever, remember to claim those. But the talent cap, it is 40, as it is our level. There is in total 50 slots in the talent points, but we only get 40. Also, talent points cannot be resetted, so be smart where you want to put those. For example, I totally skipped and I decided from the very beginning I'm not gonna put anything on the health potions. Also, I did skip the stealth completely. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. Also, I did skip the plants, at least on my Slytherin playthrough. Perhaps I am willing to try different talents in Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, or even Hufflepuff save files. And by the way, there is a vote going on in my community tab, so please vote which house I should actually livestream, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Gryffindor. Also, you can put your vote down in the comments down below. If you decide to do so, remember to hit the like as well, because these videos are taking great effort to make, and that would really mean a lot. Thank you. Next up will not be a tip, but I'm gonna demonstrate one core talent, aka the spell wheel expansion, that is really useful and should not be avoided in my opinion. It makes life much easier when you can have 4 different slots for your spells and you can switch them around instantly. Also, I wanted to show you guys every spell that game has to offer. Unfortunately, the Fire Tornado won't be part of them, and so far only the NPC enemies can cast it. I don't know why. That is missed opportunity in my opinion. I was really hoping that we could actually cast it or have a spell combination that would create that effect, but no. So, those were every spell that you can cast. Of course we have some essential spells like Protego, Stupefy, Lumos and so on. But for now it is time to move on to appearances and the stuff that you can customize on your character, on your gear. So let's go. Again we are in the room of requirement with the looms, and with the looms you can actually change the traits or add the traits. Also you can upgrade your gear. So vendors, the Vivariums will be really handy for that one, and I highly recommend upgrading the gear to the max because you are getting bonus defense and bonus attack by doing so. On the menu on the gear you can actually change the appearance of any gear piece that you already own or have owned. So the appearances stays with you in your inventory, in your gear, even when the actual gear piece have been sold already or destroyed. So yeah, that is pretty fun fact. One annoying thing, when you change your gear piece, you have to change the appearance every single time you do this. Side note, you can add level 1 or 2 traits on level 3 trait slots, so don't worry if you don't have the best ones from level 3, you can use your favorite ones from level 2 or 1. And I was one material too short to upgrade, so before we are going into the battle, let's go into Vivariums, where we can see our captured beasts. Taking care of them, feeding them, playing or taking care of them will eventually grant us some materials, but more about that a little bit later on, like almost everything, so sorry if some parts have been confusing. But yeah, upgrade done after taking care of the beasts, getting some free materials, no galleon spend at all for that one. So let's take a look how strong we can be. And note, this battle was done on normal difficulty on the troll enemy. And more battles, combat coming up later.
One less foul hulking brute. Dog.
One thing that should not be avoided like I did, as you can see on this shot I was level 39, so almost max level, and I didn't do any of the ancient magic spots. Trust me, doing just few of them are granting you more ancient magic slots, so instead of 2 you can max it out up to 5. And these are actually pretty easy, usually takes anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes max, so definitely when you are near one, do one.
Revelio. Reparo. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo. Repulsor. If only Professor Fig could have seen that.
In total there are 20 of these ancient magic spots that you can do. After doing so, go to challenges. So first 2 you are getting 1 slot, 6 more, 1 more, and rest of them, aka 12, you are getting the final 5th slot for your ancient magic. And that is coming handy, I promise you that. I already showed how you can change the appearance of your gear, but what I didn't show yet was the mounts and how you can change the mounts, use the mounts and change the appearance of the broom. So here we go. Note that Onyx Hippogriff and also the Terrestrial mount are not part of the standard edition. So Onyx Hippogriff was pre-order bonus and the Terrestrial mount, it is part of the deluxe edition of the game. Note that you can get the High Wing, aka the Hippogriff mount, around halfway through the story from side quest from Natsai, and at that time you are unlocking the Onyx Hippogriff and Pedestal mount. The Grab Horn mount, it is coming much later into the game, but that beast, it is awesome to run with. Although I still prefer the Broom, just because it is agile, it is fast, and overall I feel much better with the Broom. 1 point goes to the Grab Horn. It is the fact it is making damage when we are running onto our enemies while mounted, and that thing is making a lot of damage even one hitting enemies, so that is definitely a plus.
Faster!
And look at this giant squid just appeared. This can happen
No
at
need
any
to
time.
rest now, my friend.
Keep your eyes out in case you spot one, and let me know in the comments down below what else have you spotted in the game. There's also a chance for a dragon, but that one it is coming a little bit later. And also the Hogwarts Express train can be spotted as well at random times. Oh, and actually this is another reason I absolutely love the Broom. You can mount and unmount in and from the water, making life much easier. But if you keep, for example, on PlayStation L1 pressed, so you are getting this wheel, you will see X for Felix Felicis potion. That is really useful. Sadly, it is exclusive for PlayStation players only. Broom is for the circle, Hippogriff, triangle, and Grab Horn for the square. Grab Horn and Hiving, they will come out and go back into the knapsack. So that is simple enough. Let's go how you can change the appearance. So if you have multiple different brooms, they are all the same basically, other than the looks. Go to your gear, select the item you want. So just like any gear piece, you can change the look of the mounts. So you can change the look of the Broom, of the Hippogriff, but sadly there is no other land beasts or land mounts that you can choose. So the Grab Horn will be the only one. I mean, why we cannot ride like Unicorn on another Grab Horn? Because I did heard that shiny versions, just like in Pokemon, are a thing for the magical beast. So yeah, keep your eyes out on those ones as well. I mean, shiny, what can be better? But yeah, do the side missions, well, companion missions, like with Poppy's feedings, with Natsai, and with Sebastian. At least in my Slytherin playthrough, Amitakar, well, his side mission was really
Gran told
meh.
me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howin for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
We have to open the door.
The spell won't work unless you mean it. That's true of all unforgivables. If it must be done, then one of you must cast it.
What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus Curse again.
Ridiculous! As if dying in here is a better option than casting a damned spell. It's up to us. I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you.
Wait, you didn't say you knew how to cast Crucio?
Because I'm not sure I do. Ominous knows that, yet he's left us no choice. I don't yearn to follow in Noctuagaunt's footsteps. I think I can cast it if I have to.
I want to learn the curse, and I think it's best if I cast it on you.
Very well, if that's what you want. To perform the spell, raise your wand, point it at me, and firmly declare Crucio. Hold on as long as you can.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Over here, quietly.
Restrain the beast!
Highwing.
Do you know that hippogriff?
Get this thing back to
Very well. New plan. I get the evidence and you free that hippogriff. Agreed? This is our chance. Go!
Blasted! There's got to be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere.
There's the Hogwarts Express! Must be returning from an unscheduled run. Faster, Highwing!
As shown, after this storyline with Natsai, you can unlock the Hippogriffs and the Terrestrial Mount, and boom, after that you can freely use them as you will. Quick side tip to the quests, you can actually sort them by main story, relationships, aka company missions, side missions, and also you can see all of the completed missions you have done so far. If you are having troubles and you don't see some quests, go to your outpost. From there start opening the letters, because that has been a problem for some around the launch of the game, so be sure to check the outpost at time to time, just in case. Oh, and actually for this quest, Jack does rest. After doing that quest you can actually unlock the brooms, so pretty early on. Of course you have to attend to class, but other than that, yeah, pretty early on after level 5. Now it is time for, in my opinion, one of the best tips anybody can give you, aka the map tips. Hovering over on certain icons, doing so and you will see what you have already collected, what you have missed, and also there are few smaller things in the map, like this one. When you zoom out completely you can see the areas as a whole, how many things you have been collected. Unfortunately the butterflies won't show on this map, I don't know why, but that could be really useful. I mean, even the platforms, balloons, they are showing on the collected items, even though they are not showing on the map, so yeah. Also remember, there are caverns like Phoenix Den, iron mines, stuff like that, and they will show how many collected chests you have been missing, or if you have collected them all. And also this dragon will be flying around, and I actually really think just following it, seeing where it goes, can indicate where we can find the dragons on the map. So usually the lowest points are kinda good hint in my opinion, but I'm not sure about that, not just yet. Also, what else you can do, you can change your time of day from night to day or vice versa. On PlayStation, hitting R3 while on the map, and of course not mounted, so you are basically sleeping off the day, sleeping off the night. For example, demiguises will require you to do this, because they can be only collected at night time. But as promised throughout this video, here is the dragon encounter that happened to me. Quick and helpful tip: collect the Floo Flames when you're around, and actually when they are not inconveniently located inside houses or buildings, you can collect them just going near enough and they will pop up. Just like this. So let's see this one again, but definitely do this, it is not costing you anything to fast travel, so why not?
If only I could get back. What was that?
Alright, one last thing for the appearances. This time it is gonna be the wand. Note that you cannot change the actual top part of the wand or the core part of the wand, but what you can actually change, it is the handle, and you can find these handles from the chests in the ones that are a little bit more like square ones, so, well, more simply put it, the collectible chests. So, not the gold ones, not the eye ones, and not the really small ones. So, when you are first picking up your wand from Ollivanders, it cannot be changed again, only the handles that you are getting from the chests. And note, the chests can include the handles, traits or conjurations. Also in the Hogsmeade, if you're not happy with the hair, with the facial features or even the scars, you can change them easily in this shop in Hogsmeade. So there's very little you can do in Hogsmeade. It is definitely the trading center of the wizarding world that we can explore. Multiple different shops, hidden collectibles, field guides and anything that you can imagine.
You can stop by anytime.
For sure, visit the shops, explore the Hogsmeade as well. Really helpful tip will be in the challenges, doing them as you go. For example, the Merlin Trials are one of the most useful ones that you can do in the whole game. You don't need all 95 of them, so keep that one in mind. But doing the Merlin Trials, you can increase the space of your inventory. So for example, from 5 to 10 you are getting all the way up to 40, and that is still pretty low, because the gear pieces drop left and right, but definitely it is time saving and also more money. And who doesn't love more money? Also, what you might not know, the collectible chests are not taking any inventory space whatsoever, so feel free to collect them as you go, because it will be pain in the butt when you are getting back later. And so far, I am knowing something about that pain, because I have been spending like 10 hours before I did realize that one conjuration from collections, it is bugged from the world exploring. But yeah, that way you can actually keep track what you have collected so far. For example, the field guides, if you are missing one, definitely a great way to start looking guides for them, where you can find it when you are going through the list, and it can be painful, I'm not gonna lie. For example, the Hogwarts Castle, I really wish there was a way to see the different areas in the Hogwarts castle just like in the world. But it is what it is, little minor thing, and that won't change my opinion about Hogwarts Legacy. Like I said in one of my videos already, I really think Hogwarts Legacy will be the game of the year 2023, and I heard that was a bold statement, but I'm standing behind my words. Of course, if I'm wrong about something, feel free to correct me, because knowledge is power. Oh, and we are doing the broom races in the game, so we can upgrade our broom to make it much better, more agile and faster. So definitely do the races, because they are pretty fun, not gonna lie, and this really makes me want to have the Quidditch in the game, but unfortunately no official news about DLCs or anything like that for Hogwarts Legacy, at least not yet, but I really do hope they are adding something, New Game Plus, for this game, and honestly I wouldn't mind to pay like 20 bucks, 10-20 hour DLC. I would happily to support the devs with my wallet if we are getting great content like the main game in form of Quidditch, new map. Honestly, only the sky is the limit. Okay, I know, Felix Felicis potion, it is PlayStation exclusive, but I really wanted to show how it works, so I have it active. As you can see on the minimap, it has those golden edges, and it will show treasure chests on the minimap as we go. Honestly, this chest was pretty missable. I mean, I have been running around in the castle like an idiot for so many hours and never knew this chest existed. So behind the greenhouses, outside of the castle, boom, there you go. But yeah, Felix Felicis potions can be brewed at any time if you have the ingredients for it. The effect will last whole day, and of course whole day in-game, so not 24 hours, just the in-game day. It is final time to deep dive into the Room of Requirement and Vivariums. So as shown earlier, you can identify the gear that has the question marks. Also you can use the loom to improve your gear. Also you can conjure refineries that are giving you free moonstones every like 10 minutes or so. And also absolutely loving these hopping pots that are brewing random potion every 12 minutes or so. And really great tip if you're running low on moonstones, you can get like 1000, 2000 easily by dismissing the items that are in the Room of Requirement by default. So definitely use that when you are starting if you want. As the saying goes, bigger the better. So for example, brewing stations having 3 slots, it is better than the one and doesn't affect on the potions that you can brew, just more space. And also same goes for plants. In the big pots you can grow big, medium and small plants. So definitely it is much better to have, for example, 2 big ones than 2 small ones. Because in the small one you cannot do it vice versa. No medium or big plants can be grown in those. By the way, did you know by talking to Deke you can actually change the ambience of the room to whatever you like basically. There are 4 options, so definitely try everything out. What comes to the Vivariums, aka the rooms inside the room where you keep your beast, I highly recommend of keeping all the basic ones like Neasels, those birds, moon calves in one, because those are the most common ones. so keep them all together so it is easier for you to hunt the materials. So if you only need like basic stuff, having all basic pieces in one vivarium, it is definitely much easier to go in 1 than in 4 for example, but totally what works for you, this is pretty much matter of taste, so totally up to you. Remember to feed them, play with them, take care of them, and they will provide ingredients and materials to upgrade your gear, also enabling you to change the traits or adding the traits on your gear. Also, you might have missed this if you are playing this game already. You can find materials, ingredients like moonstones, ingredients for potions in every vivarium, and one of the biggest things besides the animals, there are 4 vivariums in total. Each one holds 3 collectible chests that are not shown on the map, so happy hunting for those. I'm planning to do guide a little bit later on, so please have patience. I try to do as much as possible, but since this is one-man show, one-man channel, I have 4 kids, full-time job, besides the YouTube channel. Yeah, these things take time, and of course the fact I didn't get early access for this game didn't help at all, but it is what it is, and I am doing the best I can. So hopefully you are not disappointed. If you are not, remember to show your support towards the channel by any action, like, subscribe, or even the comments, even if you disagree. From all of the basic stuff, let's get to the best stuff, aka the combat of any game, but this time it is gonna be the Hogwarts Legacy and the spells. It is really hard to tell what you can and cannot do, so definitely try out everything, find your own style if you want. There are already videos from other creators giving you tips and tricks for certain spell combinations, but definitely it is much more fun to find your own way on this one. And like I said earlier in this video, I definitely did overlook the stealth, because Petrificus Totalus, it is super powerful. In this scene I was playing on hard difficulty, and the troll, 1/4 of the health bar, went down with 1 Petrificus Totalus, and that spell is actually one-shotting every regular enemy, so basically only the trolls are the one that can take few hits until they are going down. From the dark arts, definitely having the curse marks on your enemies, it is super helpful even if you don't use the dark arts or unforgivable curses. So let me know in the comments down below, are you gonna use those, are you using those or not, and if not, why not? And the best tip that can be given for the combat, if you find like boss battles too hard, you can change the difficulty on the fly in middle of the battle from hard to all the way down to story mode or vice versa. If the boss battles are getting frustrating, that might be the solution for you. And talking about the solutions, this is a general tip on every game ever. If you're stuck, if your game is glitched, usually restarting the console or the platform you are playing on, closing the game, reopening it, usually solves most of the problems. Try it out. So, what do you think? let's take a look of some basic combat without me blabbering through the whole combat. Let's take a look of the battle arenas and you will see how I like to play this game without unforgivable curses. Well, at least most of the parts. So let's see. Also, I really would like to know what is your favorite spell in the whole game.
Should think they felt that in London.
Into a primitive dying, are we? Run, won't they stop? I shall avenge you. You won't get away with that. You won't get away with that. You pay for destroying our grip.
Ranrock has fooled you all to your demise. Shame you're so foul.
Someone's Are you quite finished? That's the student who released
So, in combat, you can take out the enemies by using different spell combinations. Also, don't overlook blocking incoming spells by casting Protego and holding that button so you can perform Stupefy. It is really powerful. Also, things that are breaking enemy shields are unforgivable curses. They are always breaking the shield, throwing the objects, and of course, like I said, the shields are color coded, so red you need to use damage spells. If it's yellow or purple, well, use the spell that has the same color as those. Any spell will do, even if it doesn't make any damage, it will break the shield. Let's see how everything will affect everything. Also, I'm gonna show some stealth gameplay in Hogwarts Legacy, so stay tuned for that one. That is pretty awesome, and we are actually two-hitting troll without using any unforgivable curses. Oh, and by the way, ancient magic, it is breaking the shield as well.
I address you as troll killer? You dare slay one of my...
If it isn't the herbology master, I'll get you for what you did to Arithmancy. That's just the beginning. You're the one who's...
Stupefy!
Is that all they're teaching in school? Expulso! I see that. Now you're just getting on my... You've made a grave mistake. I've seen your magic, and I'm not afraid.
Totalis! I did it. And an Ashwinder, no less. Totalis. Focus Totalis. Focus Totalis.
Show yourself. Perhaps some nice flower. Levioso! Hold still! Levioso! Levioso! Levioso!
One less foul hulking brute.
Stop right there.
Focus Totalis.
Can't petrify us all, you know. Hard to pin down. That's just the beginning. Flash of inspiration. Still no match for me. Had enough? What are your thoughts on electricity? This has become personal. Expulso! You and your miserable plants. Quite conductive, aren't we? Expulso! You're done thinning our ranks. Expulso! Oh, I hate these things. Hell's blood! Afraid of a thing? You snuffed out Iona Morgan's future. Well done.
Here to show me some dark magic, are you? What have you done?
Let's see you survive that heat. You're not going to.
I know all about you, and
Die for that. That'll just warm you up. Let's get it over.
What is that? Production!
My young friend. It was you, Cassie. That's the best. Incendio! You'll need to be quicker than that. Bingo! Was that meant to be an attack of some sort? What a pathetic display. Incendio! So... Confringo! Deal with us and have it, Bingo! You killed our Iona. Skilled poacher she was. Time to pay.
It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts.
Alright, it is time to talk about the Merlin Trials. Like I said before, you need to progress through the main story in order to unlock things like spells. And you need different spells for Merlin Trials, like Flipendo in this one. And why you need to do this? Well, you are completing the challenge by doing most of these, not all, but most. There are in total 95 Merlin Trials around the world, so do as many as you can, but not all are needed for the challenge in order to you to unlock some inventory space. That is the reward, but you have to claim it. So, after this first one is done, I will show you a cheat how you can make everything much easier, so you don't have to jump around in some of the Merlin Trials where you need to go on the platforms, on the stones. You can actually use your broom, believe it or not. But yeah, like I said, there are multiple different ones. You need Flipendo, Depulso, Confringo, Bombarda, and some are even time limited. So there's that. So many different things, and usually these are like minute or two, or even less. Depends how you are doing this.
Reparo. Revelio.
The Ministry ought to loosen the reins.
Reparo. Revelio. Reparo. Merlin himself would be proud. These Merlin Trials won't get the best of me.
As said, there is a kind of a cheat for those. Same goes for the Floo Flames, like I said earlier in this video. One of the last things I wanted to show and tell you about is the walls that are hidden around. Some are needing solving, Alohomora spells, and of course different spells in order to you to solve them, get the reward. Not all, but most. They are around the world, and I think I did find every single one of them, and there was no additional reward other than the one that was inside. So yeah, there are multiple different ones, mini puzzles, almost like a mini game. I really think I did tell you everything you need to know without spoiling, at least not too much. Sorry if I did, and not sorry because I wanna help you. To the last things in this video, I wanted to ask you guys what things you have found in game that could be helpful to others. Let us know in the comment section. Also any thoughts about the video, about the game, about the spells, and what you think. Should Hogwarts Legacy get a DLC or sequel? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. And like I said in my review video, this is still full 10 out of 10, even though glitch trophy, it is annoying, but not game breaking in my opinion. But before ending the video, I really want to shout out my channel members, aka the Elite Wolfpack. You guys are really helping me and the channel out. If you want to join, there's a join button below this video. If you do, you are getting some custom emojis, early access to some of my videos, and member exclusive channel in my Discord server. And also Discord invite will be in the description box down below. But for now, let's roll the outro. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like, hit the sub, turn on the notifications so you won't ever miss anything that I upload or when I go live. Also Wolfpack, have fun, stay safe, be strong. Hope to see you in the next one. Skatha, over and out, and bye bye.